If you've been wondering where I've been, it's a long story. I've had to skip a few weeks of filming to deal with a bathroom remodel, and let's just say, well, I'll tell you the story in a minute.
It has been a while, hasn't it? Welcome to my back patio that's an absolute disaster. I'm going to explain where I've been the last few weeks. I've been absent about 4 weeks now. I have not posted anything in about a month. I think the last video was making Danny's sausage, I think, on the Pit Boss, which was amazing, and I totally need to do that again. But for you guys, that was about a month ago. For me, that was probably 6 weeks to 2 months ago. And I wanted to catch you all up. So this is just gonna be an off the wall, off the cuff, talking to you as like real life, where we've been, what we've been doing, and what's coming up next for this channel. And just some things to kind of get you back on track with, where the heck's Valerie been? Back this party up a little bit and start from the beginning. Remember when I said that changes back here and any thoughts toward an outdoor kitchen was not on the plan?
You know what else I need? Is a fancy outdoor kitchen. No, seriously, like I've got my eye on some stuff, but don't get excited. Like that's not top priority this summer, so you won't see that for a minute.
Yeah, so actually it's become a plan now. You know how life is when you say never or later. It ends up happening now. So my little grill pellet totes have come out of the cabinet because the cabinet has been sold in a yard sale. Actually, no, I think I kept it in the garage. That one didn't actually sell, but I did sell that damn pizza oven. It's gone. Sorry to Blackstone, that was not your best product. It is mid-August at this point, and needless to say, it is too hot to do anything, let alone cook outside. I don't even want to swim outside. Our pool is not heated and cooled, although that might be in the plans for next year. We have not been out here enjoying this space, and this has been the story for us for the last 4 years we've lived at this property. I love this back patio. I love this screened-in area. You guys have seen our pool. You've seen me grilling out there in the summer. For whatever reason this year, I have been so completely overwhelmed and overloaded. When it comes time to coming out here to grill, I just was like, I just don't even have the capacity to like sweat that out for the camera, let alone for myself, even off camera. So we've been eating out way too much. We've been traveling way too much. I have been cooking inside in between. And in the meantime, there has been another renovation taking place on the inside of my house. So I really, really wanted to show you guys a project that we did on the inside of our home. But a couple reasons why I didn't. Number one, I sometimes as a YouTuber feel like my home is my home and I just want most of it to be my private space. It doesn't always need to be all on camera. I go back and forth with those thoughts, 50-50. If you're a YouTuber or you're on social media in any kind of way, maybe you understand. Some people are very, like open book, and they don't mind showing every piece of their home. And usually I'm that way. Like I don't care. I love sharing parts of my home. I'm very, I take a lot of pride in the way I care for our home. It's decorated very beautifully in my opinion. And I love to share that with other people. It gives me like a little bit of a creative outlet. I've decorated many homes over the years. So normally that's something I want to share. But in this case, I guess I just feel like a lot of our life is shared on YouTube and, out in the open to everybody, that I guess I just felt like, I'm okay with just showing like our backyard and our pool and our deck and the kitchen. Like that's enough. The rest of my home feels like it should remain my private space. And for whatever reason, that's just where I'm at with it. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is because it's not a DIY project. And aren't those so fun to watch? Yes. However, we hired people to renovate our guest bathroom because we are not DIYers. Okay, we can do some stuff. Jarrett is very, very handy. If you follow our other channel, you've seen that. He's very handy. Grew up on a farm, knows how to drive all kinds of equipment. He knows how to use many different kinds of tools, and he's pretty handy around the house. However, it's not what we do for a living. I mean, he runs a company full-time, and I do all kinds of other things full-time, but what we aren't is DIYers. And since we're in the real estate industry, we also don't love a lot of homes we see with DIY projects that aren't done properly. I'll just say it like that. And to each their own. And some people can do it well, and some people just shouldn't be doing it at all. That's just the truth of it. But it's your home, you know? So if it's your home that you're gonna stay in forever, do whatever you want. But if it's your home and you plan on selling it in 3 to 5 years, maybe you should consider hiring someone who knows how to actually do the things correctly. And because we're not professional DIYers, I would rather pay someone to do it much better than I could. And that being said, that's what we did in our bathroom. And so in the hallway, you have seen in my kitchen before, that hallway is where this guest bathroom is. And if I were to have filmed some of the action that was taking place, I wanted to do some like cool time lapse, you know, videos for you guys, like clips of the team like working, putting things together. But there was just no space. And also on top of that, like the mess that's created when you gut a room in your house it's like something exploded. Like, so all these things are adding up to why recording that piece wasn't really gonna make sense for the channel. First of all, the bathroom renovation doesn't make sense to the cooking channel or the RV channel, but the cooking channel, because that's what we're talking to right now, because it's not like part of the space I utilize while we're cooking, right? But the back patio is, and we'll get to that. So with it being too hot to cook outside, with the team of like 6 people in my home every day, morning, noon, and evening, and then the mess it was starting to trickle into the kitchen, I couldn't even cook indoors either. So it was like, okay, you know what? We're just gonna have to breathe here for a second and just take a break. So I do wanna show you the before and after of this bathroom, just so, because you're probably curious and wondering, and I love what we've done in there and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I do want to show you that in just a second. So if you follow us over on the RV channel, I just wanted to touch on something just briefly. You have seen that we've been consistent over there every Sunday. And that's because we're a little bit ahead. We're a couple weeks ahead in our content. So thankfully, we've been able to continue to post. But during this time, like there will be, or there is, depending on the date this video gets released, there will be a video on our next adventure explaining that like we are so burnt out and we just seriously needed a break. Sometimes, guys, life just has a way of slowing you down when you have too many tabs open. I'll say it like that. I've had way too many tabs open in my life, and I have been working one by one to close these little tabs. You know, just hit the little red X button. You know, maybe I needed to finish some work first on that page before I closed it, but some of them I just had to close the X because we just do too much in this country and in this culture we live in. I just think that we go way too hard, way too fast for way too long. And sometimes life has a way of sitting your butt down and going, you need to slow down. So I've had some like anxiety issues that have really kept me from keeping up. Heart palpitations, things like that. That's beside the point. There's also a lot to that has to do with like this crazy word called perimenopause, whatever that means. I'm figuring it out, okay? But just know that like some sleeplessness and anxiety has been going on, and I just needed to close some tabs and put some other tabs, minimize them, you know, like just minimize, put you away for a second. Dinner TBD had to be minimized for a second. Not closed, but minimized. During these renovations, a lot of things happened. We took our family, 3 of our older kids, to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on a family vacation because this just happened to be a summer where 3 of them could come with us and we were going to take advantage of that, right? So we went on vacation with our kids. Things obviously have to be put on hold with business and at home. So while we were on vacation, this bathroom was being gutted and it was supposed to have at least had the tile laid when we returned. Well, that actually happened, but accidents happen. And they got the fiberglass tub in, they tiled all the way up to the ceiling with like one little piece that was short, okay? We were short tile. But not only that, they peeled back the blue plastic and all the plastic and things they had in the tub, only to find a hole in the tub by the drain, like the size of a nickel. Large enough that like, it's something that they didn't want to patch, which I appreciate, thank God. Contractors that we work with are honest and like, this is a brand new bathroom. I'm not trying to patch this brand new bathtub for you. Like, it has to be ripped out. not only are we short on tile, it's got to all come down. So they took down all that tile off the wall, took out the tub, because at this point it's drywalled into the wall. It's either going to have to be removed or patched. And I'm like, oh crap. So we know this is going to push the project back. I thought maybe a week if we're lucky, but it ended up being like 2.5 to 3 more weeks because we had to order more tile. Well, lo and behold, the tile that we ordered got lost on a truck somewhere in Nashville or Knoxville. We're not real sure, but Jarrett ended up driving to Nashville to go pick it up because we're like, we have to keep going. We have a hole in our house. Our teenager needs a bathroom. The whole thing's falling apart. I can't record my videos. All this stuff's going on. And then they come back, everything gets, put back up. We're tiling, we've got a toilet in, it's coming together, there's paint on the wall, and there was some plumbing issues. Okay, I'm just gonna put it like that. Again, not all contractors are maybe skilled in every area, okay, right? So you gotta sub it out, right? You got the tile guy, you got the drywall guy, you need a plumbing guy. You can't count on the tile guy to get the plumbing just right. So we had some incidents, and during this time, Jarrett and I are cleaning, like deep cleaning the bathroom. We're really only waiting on a few like little plumbing things, a little electrical thing with the fan, and we're in the same house together in my hallway, which you've seen, and the phone rings. It's hard to talk about, but it's okay. Don't be afraid, it's okay. Our youngest daughter, who's 17, is hysterical, and she'd been in a car accident. But the words coming out of her mouth were that she can't get out. She's stuck in her car and she can't get out. And, sorry. That hits a mom. I'm letting you know everything's fine. She's fine, okay? But in those moments, your brain does something supernatural. I don't even remember. I just remember I found my shoes and I found my purse, and we were booking it down one of the main roads here in the town we live in to get to her. We got to her, and within 10 minutes, police had already been called. She'd been out of the car. She is on the phone with us telling us she doesn't know if she's okay at this point, but we think she's okay based on what we're hearing. But gosh, those are scary moments. She was hit pretty good. Someone pulled out in front of her, trying to cross 4 lanes, turning left. Anyway, she took a pretty hard hit. She got a little bruised up. She had some trouble with her hearing because of the airbags, but got her evaluated. She's okay, no broken bones, no x-rays needed. Like, we are praising God and thanking God that her injuries aren't worse, or worse, of course. But man, that call is so hard to get. So breathe while I'm trying to tell you a little bit about all these things happening, right? It's like when it rains, it pours. And I don't feel like I'm being tested necessarily. We're just dealing with the issues of life. And we just, again, too many tabs open, and just life happening as all these tabs are open in my life. It's like things are starting to back up. And so my body really felt that. My body was feeling all these things. And I know you're probably thinking in the comments, you don't need to explain to any of us why you've been absent the past month, Val. First of all, I know I don't have that many followers yet. Second of all, I know I don't have to explain myself. But I wanted to take this time to just be real with you guys. Like, this is who I am. And on occasion, let's have these conversations. Like, this is life, we don't have to be so, we're only cooking outdoors on the Weber today for Dinner TBD. Like, this is my life, and I'm here to share pieces of it with you so you can relate. And we have like a human connection. That's all. That's the only words I know how to use for all of this. So good news is that all is well as of today. Like, we're recovering from all this, but I'm here to tell you that, like, I personally am coming down from this like tense state I was in. Like, I just have been so stressed out. We've had all these meetups with our private community over on our next adventure, and like rallies we did, which weren't our private community, but like for larger groups in the RV community. And all of these things added up for me this summer. Like May, June, July just kept adding up. There was like zero time for us to have any downtime. Even like cooking for me is very therapeutic, and I have not been able to just cook a meal until literally last night. And I made like a Pioneer Woman Ree Drummond easy beef skillet noodle dish which I'd never made before, but I always have had like the recipe in my book. And I was like, I've never made this. It looks so simple and just heartwarming and like simple ingredients, you know, like just beef broth and tomato paste and like a little bit of cream, and like it was delicious. I was like, why haven't I been cooking? This is healing to the soul. But then this morning I went to church, and like today's Sunday, and Jarrett is out of town on a work conference, and I just had this downtime that I needed, and space to myself and mental space to myself. And a lot of times when we're filming and recording and uploading and working with our editor and all these back end things, sometimes we have to film on the weekends. Well, we always usually film on the weekends. But to be truthful with you all, Jarrett and I haven't been to church in a very long time. And we do incorporate that into our life, but I honestly feel like it's just something I can no longer go when it's convenient to me. I have to have this back in my life, in my spiritual life, as part of who I am consistently, because your faith will help you through all of these moments, and your tabs being way out of control, and your kids needing you during times of emergencies. And we've always had that. Like, Christ has always been my rock, right? Love you. But, you know, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep up on maintaining your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. It's so important. Anyway, I'm not gonna get emotional. The last thing about that is I feel totally refreshed this morning. Our son is a drummer. One of our sons is a drummer. He drums at the church. And it's actually a big reason why I went to that church this morning, because I wanted to see him drum. And we go to it's like a sister church to that church, and we've been going to that one. But I'd never been to this location. And he's like, you should come. Like, it's really cute. Like, it's what you like, Mom. It's like simple and like looks like a church, you know. It's like not the movie theater thing that you say that you don't feel like yourself in. That's just me. No offense to anybody who likes that setting. I just prefer like a more traditional setting, okay? And it was all of that. And I just was like, I don't know what God does with timing in your life, but it just was so needed for me. And I probably won't be able to put that into words, what I needed in those moments, but he just flooded me with it. And I was just so grateful for everything. The health of my family, the health of our businesses, the life I get to live. I'm blessed to live in the house I live in and the country we live in, and having my kids and my family. And no, nothing's perfect, but when you have that solid rock faith in the one who keeps you held together, it's just nothing like it. Okay, y'all want to move on to what's happening with this back patio? Because I do. Thank you, by the way, for listening to all that. If you're still here, like, thank you. Just connecting, trying to be real with y'all, and, you know, hey, like, we're good, right? Oh, wait, first, I know you guys want to see the bathroom. I totally forgot. Okay, let's show you the bathroom. I want to show you the before and the thought behind like the renovation and what we wanted to do with it to make our home a little more functional, give us a little more storage space, and then I'll show you the after. This is going to become a wall right here. Not the closet, but the closet's coming in 2 inches. I know that's crazy, but I'll show you why in a minute. But this is going to be drywall, so we can possibly put a TV there, and it's no more going to be a pass through both ways. I know it looks great, and that's like really great. However, it's not really great because not a lot of people use it, and it's just a lot of swinging doors in the way, and too many people going, why is my door locked? Why is my door locked? So we're just not going to do that no more. And it should create some space to give us a bath closet from the inside of the bathroom. So storage is better than wasted space, right? Here's the before. It doesn't look too bad, does it? But it actually is. It needs work. We have moisture issues. We need fans. We need more lighting. The tile has to go. I'm so sick and tired of tile and grout and cleaning all that crap. It's coming out and it's going to be fiberglass and it's going to be amazing. It has to be 5 feet because it's going to be fiberglass, and this is not 5 feet. We need 2 more inches right here. So that's going to have to be widened, and then the tub will come out 30 inches, which is actually going to give me a little more space because it's not quite as deep as what this shower is here. So the floor is coming out. It is a tile that looks like wood, so it's like grainy and it feels terrible on your feet. I hate textured tile on my feet. And whoever put this in, you know, they fell in love with the farmhouse thing and got a little carried away and didn't want to do it correctly by removing what was already here. And that's why it looks like it's 2 inches above the actual floor. So all of that is getting fixed, taken out. Hopefully the tile I chose is gonna be one we like. The vanity's staying. It's just not installed correctly, so it will be soon. And, you know, grouted correctly, trimmed out correctly. The mirror I think is staying. I can't decide if I'm gonna go with black or gold, but I think I'm gonna do a gold light fixture. And this here, this wall, let's do a before, best I can. It's not a huge bathroom. That's going to be a closet. And what I envision is some open shelving. Love my guest bedroom. However, this is no longer gonna be a walkway to it. And it's taken apart because of all the drywall dust that's about to take place. So it looks awful now, but I can show you what it looks like when it's all put together and set up. It's actually pretty nice. It's about to get a makeover in here. Okay, now before the final reveal, I have to tell you that I know I said that we had to move that tub wall, the closet wall to the guest room 2 inches in. That actually didn't need to happen. The contractor said that had to happen, but once they tore everything out, come to find out, there had just been like some kind of layering going on there behind that tile that was there, and he thought it was out too far, but it actually wasn't. So it ended up working out that we did not have to move the closet inward any. However, Jarrett did go ahead and like tear out all the kind of janky looking shelves that were in there. They were a little bit janky, I'm not gonna lie, and put in some better wood shelving, which is stained that Minwax early American color. I love that color. It's classic, it's in my opinion pretty timeless, and it goes with a lot of stuff. It's pretty warm and homey, and you can find it just about anywhere. So I love that. We use that color a lot in our home. So the final reveal of the bathroom. Okay, y'all ready for it? Come on in. Isn't it so gorgeous? I just love all these materials. Casual, but still beautiful, right? I love this little nook where I could put a little shelf I found at Target, little stool. It makes it feel like a little spa. Perfect place to paint your nails or put a towel. I love all the gold touches we chose. The mirror, the lighting, the faucet, and that like evergreen fog color that I'm in love with. I matched up the tiles to that Sherwin-Williams color I love. And then these little gold fixtures, I found those on Amazon. Aren't those cute? Changed out the black ones. So that's the same vanity, but different mirror, different lighting, of course, different tile. There's the famous fiberglass tub that had the hole in it, but this is a brand new one. Aren't those pretty? They did such a good job. I really feel like they did. Now there was some discrepancy in like where to put the shelving, but it was more so like how they cut the tile to make it look symmetrical and nice and clean. Look at that. Finally, space we can use. Isn't that pretty? Jarrett did such a good job on the shelving. I love that we did not case it in and just drywalled it and left it to open shelves. It's so useful. It looks gorgeous with the early American stain, and then these little baskets I found at Target, which we've already filled up and we're gonna use. And then just the little accents like this, you know. Little light up above. I mean, it does light it up somewhat, and then once we put in the shelves, of course, it kind of darkens it back up, but it's absolutely gorgeous. We love it. I love it in here. And then we did away with the shelving here. Just went with a simple picture found at Hobby Lobby. Quite fitting for the season of my life, if you ask me. Very good reminder. Now remember how that used to be an opening that went into the other bedroom? Well, we made good use of that, of course. We'll show you what it looks like now. This is our guest bedroom put back together. We absolutely love it in here. All my mom pictures of all my kids and family. And then here's the new shelving and the new wall. Doesn't it look nice? So we're gonna have a TV up here. Maybe a little more decor, probably not a whole lot. Keep it simple and clean, but these are the shelves Jarrett did. Worked so hard on out in the heat. And you know, any empty nester knows that when the kids move out, this becomes mom's closet. And this is where I keep some Christmas stuff, home decor, blankets, you know. So the shelving looks so much better. You probably didn't get to see the before pic, but Jarrett did such a great job. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. Of course, not everything's perfect 100% to the T, you know, but it's so beautiful. They did such a good job with everything. It took a little longer than we wanted it to, but it turned out great. And we love it. Our daughter loves it. Our guests, you know, our family that's going to stay and any guests we might have are going to love it. And I know whoever stays in our guest bedroom is going to love having a TV in there now. So thrilled about it. I love the colors I picked. Now, in case you're wondering, like the walls are agreeable gray. That's what we have through most of our home. It's by Sherwin-Williams. Love that color. It's very popular, has been for probably a good decade now with all the builders and the new constructions. It is a grayish, so it's like a grayish beige. It really goes with both cooler or warmer tones. So I use it in my home to bring out the warmer tones, but it's still light enough that it goes with some cooler stuff in the home. And I love how we stacked those vertical green tiles up the bathroom wall, up the vanity. You know who gave me that idea? ChatGPT. Does that shock you? No, me neither. Chat knows what's up most of the time. Sometimes he's a little off, but like I had thought I was just gonna put one row of vertical green tiles above the vanity. Well, as Chat was like giving me these ideas, he sent me a picture with it all the way up the wall, and I'm like, that is beautiful. That's what I'm doing. That's what we did. So it turned out so good. Now, on to the plans. I wanted to show you guys this, you know, in a way more cinematic, awesome way, but there's just no time. Okay, I'm just gonna do my thing naturally out here and show you the plan for this whole space. Now, I love that we have screens from floor to ceiling, but we are going to be finishing this whole entire room into a 4-season sunroom that we can use all year round. And I'm so excited about that. Now, we just ordered the windows 3 weeks ago. They're fixing to be here any day now, and demo is fixing to take place I think within the next 3 weeks. So you may or may not see me cooking out here. We might be cooking inside because of the heat, but I have about 3 more weeks to go before this is gonna be gone. But so the window choices that we're making are gonna be so much fun. We're gonna do the crankouts, and I really don't know what they're gonna look like, but we plan to do a brick fireplace right here, a gas fireplace in the corner with a TV and a mantle, and then windows on this side and windows on this side. Okay, for this angle, I wanna show you some, yes, AI ChatGPT inspiration pics that I had Chat pieced together for me of what I want this side to look like, which is pretty much what you see. The doorway is gonna be here, and then window and the fireplace. Now this side is gonna be totally different. Originally, like this is where the TV is for purposes of keeping it out of the rain and the dirt and the pollen and all that. Well, pollen still gets in no matter what, but it has been kept dry from the elements, which is good. So that's why that has always been there. The brick wall is going to remain, but I think I'm gonna paint it. Don't shoot me down. I have a plan in mind, okay? Okay. And then the goal here for this is I wanna do some built-in shelves so I can put awesome pictures of my family up, maybe some cabinetry, you know, so there's an opening here for the TV, or my goal is to possibly be able to rearrange the room and flip-flop the TV. Maybe I want it over here in the fireplace, or maybe I want it here on this wall, and maybe in its place, replace it for like a nice canvas painting or something. But I want the ability to be able to switch it, because the goal here in this space is not to face a brick wall to watch TV. No. That's why we're putting the fireplace and TV over here, because who does not want that view on a beautiful day in October watching football, right? It's gonna be so awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, this wall here, brick shall remain. It has to. There's no way I'm taking down that brick. That's gonna be thousands of dollars that I don't have. These two windows, we think, so far, are going to be built-in shelves, okay? So we are gonna drywall the inside of the home and knock these inward somehow, knock the glass out, but build a small, very narrow bookshelf on both sides. Won't that be pretty? I plan on painting this brick too to match this. Now, choices I have are very pretty Sherwin-Williams colors, but I think I'm gonna go with City Loft, and I'll explain that later. It's a very light white, off white cream. It's gonna be beautiful. The purpose of that is a couple things. We're gonna brighten it up, number one. Number two, there's this glue around this oval piece that we think came from some 1990s awning that must have been ripped off. For the life of us, we don't know how to get it off. We've watched YouTube videos and none of us have even wanted or even had the energy to attempt to remove that glue. Like, why? Who cares? I don't know. So I hope that the paint will cover that fine. And then these doors, they're gonna be different, okay? But they're gonna swing inward. I'm hoping to go with French doors, white, that swing inward to the home, because I'll have to just show you. Okay, welcome to my living room. This may be one of the first or few or very last times that we come into this space together. I don't know, maybe a few shots here or there is fine. But I wanted to show you the plan for this wall, okay? As it stands now, these doors are kind of dark and the shades have got to go, I know. But the dark doors, I like the accents. You really haven't seen the rest of the home, so it may not make perfect sense to you why we've added that. But it does create this like smallness that I'm ready to see become bigness. Now, ignore the treadmill. This was here because of the hallway bathroom demo work, and it came out of the guest room as a whole thing. So that obviously doesn't go there, but it's there for now. But here's the plan. But dun da da da. Won't that be so beautiful to walk out into a full, finished, extra living, all year round sunroom space? Yes, I think so too. You can't see it in person. In person, it's totally different. On video, I don't know if you're thinking, wow, that changes things. Now those windows, of course, are gonna be filled in with drywall on the side, right? But all of this, I plan to leave these doors open a lot, unless someone needs to go out there and shut them. Like again, you're like, why didn't you just knock down the whole thing and create, because it doesn't make sense. It's a very awkward living space where this has to be its own living space and that has to be its own living space. And if we're gonna have a TV in here and a TV out there, and Jarrett's in here watching Larson Farms, and I'm out there watching Kara and Nate, and I can hear his TV, that ain't gonna work. So we also have a teenager still at home, and she likes to have friends over, and so maybe she wants to go out there and close the doors and have time with her friends. See, isn't it brilliant? It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited. Are we feeling the vision here, guys? Can you imagine what's happening? It's gonna be freaking beautiful. I can't even wait. This is gonna be totally different, and I really hate to see it go because we have loved this space, but there are several months out of the year that we can't use it. This is one of them, August. Congratulations, August. You have won the battle, because I don't come out here this time of year. Speaking of, I'm letting all my AC out, so I gotta go. Needless to say, I am so excited for one more thing, which you guys may have not realized, because in here you can't see it in the living room, but there is something on every wall. That living room is in the center of the home, and there is no place for a Christmas tree. Believe me, I've tried. We just put a little pencil tree in the corner, and that's all I've ever got for the last 4 years. That ain't gonna work. But out here, this is where I plan to have it. Can you imagine it? Can you see it? Like, that's gonna be amazing. And come out here and watch the flurries and the snowfall in the winter and cozy up with my blanket. It's gonna be so great. Y'all, that was a lot. Thank you for hanging in there with me. You guys are gonna come along on this journey with us, because this is going to become part of the journey on this channel, because this is my cooking space. And yes, if you've waited this long and this far into the video to know, where are you gonna cook outside? We have plans right out the back door where you've seen our pool before on that little patio. Yep, that space right there. We have big plans for that whole area of the backyard coming along too on this channel, on this journey. So if y'all want to follow along and see how that goes, yes, we're hiring people, and yes, we will probably get permission to do a lot of filming on that. It is my home, and we'll do some time-lapse stuff and show you guys the journey, because it's going to take a while. It's going to take a few months. So we will be cooking inside for the next several months, but when this is all done, this is gonna be amazing. So come along, subscribe, stick around, stay tuned, because we're gonna have some fun rebuilding this place and making it incredible. Now, this video has been long enough, so we'll talk very soon on the plans for the patio area and what we're gonna do for the outdoor kitchen. Okay, don't get excited. I'm excited, but don't get like overly excited. It's gonna be beautiful, but like, it's still gonna be very casual and toned down and just like functional, but not overdone. Does that make sense? So we got a lot going on in this backyard. This 1990s brick and all this pool stuff. We got to keep it simple. So join the journey, subscribe, and stick around. I'm excited to be back and filming for you again very, very soon. See ya.